is another extraordinary woman who's 50 years old. You won't believe it when you see her. And she has done 115 marathons. But that's not what she's going to talk about. She's going to talk about a little adventure to a very big country called Canada, and what that taught her about this country. Her name is Lara Kaplan. Lara, please take the stage.
Should I stay or should I go? A very hot topic in South Africa right now. I'm here to tell you from personal experience, having left South Africa and returned, that you should stay. Most emotions in life can be categorized into two sections, love and hate. I loved my life in South Africa, my family, my friends, the weather, the lifestyle, but I hated the political turmoil and the crime that plagues our beautiful country. In 2006, after a personal hijacking and a vicious attack on my brother that nearly cost him his life, I decided to emigrate to Canada. I thought United Nations, crime-free, earning the mighty dollar, adventure. After about 1 year there, I realized the cold, hard facts, that I was a very small fish in a very big pond, as opposed to the opposite way as it had been for me back home in South Africa. But like most South Africans who emigrate, I worked really hard. And after about 2 or 3 years, I achieved third place position in a real estate office of 120 estate agents in a city where I knew nobody. One could say I sold a lot of houses in the snow. One I bought myself. It was a 4-bedroom house on 2.5 acres of land in Halifax, Nova Scotia, located opposite a lake, which enabled me to train for the Ironman Mont Tremblant the following year, which I'm happy to tell you I made. But very soon, the magical Christmas lights and the novelty of snow skiing, which I really loved, soon wore thin, as one winter rolled into the next freezing winter, and shoveling the driveway became a daily grind. Never far from my heart was the leafy streets of Kloof in KwaZulu-Natal, home to the Comrades Marathon, and my 16 completed pilgrimages to the Shrine of Pain. How I wanted that pain, and how I remembered the South African people as they lined the streets from Pietermaritzburg to Durban, egging me on. And fast forward to Clifton, Cape Town, and these long summer days where the sun really sets before 10 p.m. at night. I missed that. Yet, I jumped through every single hoop the Canadians put me through, and I completed a lot of paperwork. And after 6 years of hard labor, I achieved the quintessential dream, Canadian citizenship. But it cost me my 13-year marriage. And what you'll see on the left with the excitement of immigration, on the right changed into divorce, as I witnessed firsthand what disillusionment does to the human soul. Because the cost of living in Canada was exorbitant. And it's really not easy to start over when you're 40 or 50. And believe it or not, but our meager South African rand actually goes quite far comparatively. Very soon, loneliness and depression set in. And I asked myself those fundamental questions. How and why did I go from hero to zero? apparently overnight. My only solace in that time, when my marriage fell apart and there was no friends and no family around me for support, was my cat, Cyan, who was my rock in a very lonely, sad time of my life. So too was my ultra-marathon running, and I would venture out every morning in that treacherous weather, provided it was warmer than minus 20 degrees C. But always with 2 layers of balaclava and 2 layers of leggings, always alone. Never far from my heart was the camaraderie of my South African friends and how we would celebrate after a race like the Two Oceans Marathon, medals around our neck, enjoying the sun and the fun on the Easter weekend in Cape Town. Yet, Canada had its pros, and I took an amazing train ride across Canada, from Halifax on the East Coast, 5 days across to Vancouver on the West Coast, and it remains one of the highlights of my life. But it was not Cape Town. And when I came back here on a holiday, and I was faced with that quintessential Table Mountain and Lion's Head view that you see from the beach in Milnerton, where I had once lived, I decided to go back to Canada, pack up my stuff, and come home. Here I am, 1 year ago, enjoying the fruits of the Langabon Marathon up on the West Coast, with my friends, medal around my neck, enjoying the sun and the fun. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no replacement for family. There is no replacement for friends. And there's no replacement for a sense of belonging. South Africa, with its energy, is truly as good as it gets. I am Lara Kaplan. Thank you.
Lara, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
So, as you guys can see, Lara is a professional speaker, right? You can see that. And you can see that she is amazing at real estate as well. Selling houses in Canada. That was fantastic. And it was really special for me because I'm going to Canada in 50 days. So, just a quick story from my side, and I'm not going to take 6 minutes and 40 seconds, but I am a product of this city, and I grew up in Canada after moving there at the age of 4. And 12 years ago, I came back here because I was drawn to this beautiful city after a 2-month sabbatical in South America. And I fell in love with this city, and I fell in love with a woman. And in 50 days, I'm going to be going with that woman and my child back to Canada to start another chapter, to go to my other home and see what that does for us as a family. But I will, like you, Lara, miss this family, miss this city, miss everything about South Africa. So it's it's hard. So thank you. You're gonna give the next prize out. So I'm getting all teary. It's this person here who wins the prize from eHire. I think 2,000 Rand worth of support for your event, whatever your event is going to be. eHire is there for you. Go.
And the winner is, please come up, give it up for Shauna Bradford.
Shauna Bradford. Don't make me do another draw. Is she here? Okay, so she's here. Stay there, we'll come to you. 2 things as we take the break. There's an exit there, and there's an exit there, just to help with the flow. And I made myself a note here for some reason. Oh, it's just that